That's fine.
Old mate just dropped a dart. I promise it wasn't me.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're going to be famous after this, bro.
Shush.
Yeah, so we've got a second guest on the pod. This is Stevie, and she just dropped a dart.
Yeah, she definitely did. I can taste it on my tongue. So, yeah, it was obviously a very nice breakfast you had.
And here's Ollie.
You got more company, of course. FOMO, you know, just like Dad. If they hear this action going on, they want to be part of it.
100%. Aren't we all the same, eh?
We are, unfortunately, to our detriment.
But I think we've got quite an exciting podcast today. We will be trying to discuss the Tour de France in a bit of detail, make this a bit more of an informative one, which starts on Saturday.
Saturday, yep, in Barcelona, team time trial. I mean, it's the first time, well, there hasn't been a team time trial on the Tour for a couple of years, but I think it's the first time that it starts with a team time trial in...
Yeah, I think it's like since 1970s, eh?
Sheesh, you did your homework.
Yeah, could be very wrong. Maybe someone's going to correct us there.
Probably. But no, I think that is very exciting. I mean, Barcelona, for those, like they've done team time trials there before, the Vuelta had a team time trial that started there. Catalunya always finishes in Tour Volta. Catalunya always finishes in Barcelona, Montjuic. So it's really exciting. I mean, I don't know how I feel about them starting with the team time trial. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. It's different because they're doing it this new time trial thing. So it's not like previous ways. It's like it's the top 5 or something. And the time will stop there, whereas now everyone gets the individual time, so you can decide how you want to do it, you know, all roll through and save your GC guy a bit, and he's got, you know, fresh legs for the final climb. But I mean, it's still short. Everyone should be good enough to like work the whole time there.
I mean, I think definitely some teams, you know, who've got like their dedicated domestiques, they'll just kind of go all out the first 10Ks or so. Thank you very, very much.
Ollie agrees.
Ollie definitely agrees. But I mean, like a team like UAE, who've got multiple prong attack, same as Lidl Trek, I think same as Bora even, all obviously with one dedicated leader, but they've still got other good riders who aren't going to want to lose time.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, and I think we were just chatting now, like it's the first time where hypothetically Pog could take yellow with UAE, such a good time trial team, could take yellow on day one and could hold it all the way. Has that happened before? I don't think so.
I also don't think that's ever happened. Again, you know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, is that a wise thing to do? That puts a lot of pressure on the team. That means they've got to kind of dictate from the beginning. Everyone also knows they're the out and out favourites. You know, no one really wants to help them as it is.
Yeah.
Do that to yourself. But the way that the route is this year, I mean, stage 2 is also a hard day. It's those laps of Montjuic in Barcelona again. So, you know, realistically, Poggy's not going to lose time there.
And normally splits on that stage because the day 2, Ryan was saying, is the day they do in Catalunya. Difficult laps. It's normally quite like strung out. It's not a big peloton coming through there. Maybe a bit slippery, a bit dangerous in the city roads. And yeah, anything can happen there as well. So the guys who are going for GC obviously going to stay at the front to stay safe, and then opportunity presents itself for another stage win. They're not going to turn it down.
They're not. And if it's there for the taking, you're not going to turn that down. I also see, like, you know, the pure sprinters, those teams aren't going to control. So I don't see Quick Step getting involved. I don't see, you know, Decathlon, they've also got a two-pronged attack. Well, when I say two-pronged, they've got Paul Seixas for the GC, but then they've got, I think, Quay, who we haven't seen him much this year, but he's one of the quickest men in the world. He's with Decathlon now this year. Also, I think it's too hard for him, but maybe Trek. I mean, we were discussing this with Mads. If he's on flying form, it's a day that could potentially be okay for him.
Yeah, and like you said, their team is super strong. I mean, Skalmusa, Mads, what's the guy from UAE just went there? Ayuso,
Derek G,
Ciccone, Derek G,
Vacek. I mean,
like, that is a power team.
It really is. And I mean, Trek, obviously, again, I always say this, a little bit biased towards them. They haven't been phenomenal this year. You know, they've been thereabouts, had some decent results, but they haven't been as good as I think what they should have been. And on paper, if you look at their lineup and their team, what they've got in their arsenal, they should be doing better. So I think the Tour, they're going to want to prove a point.
Yeah. And I mean, also Mads hasn't raced much after his injury early on in the year, and then he had a decent San Remo after not really doing much. And he hasn't done much after that, has he?
No, he hasn't. I mean, I think he did Mayenne in France, which is early May, or maybe late May. Also, it's on these horrible tiny French roads. It's always a tough one. I always dodged that one, thankfully. You always have horrendous accidents at that race. But yeah, that's, I think, 4 days of racing, which he did from the classics to now. So definitely not, what he's used to.
And he's like the stuff you always told us when you came back from these training camps. He's a hard worker. Like, he's probably been putting in some monster blocks. Now, I wouldn't be surprised he comes back on the form of his life.
100%. He's the kind of guy, a lot of riders, they need racing to get strong, because yes, you can push yourself in training, you can do your intervals, but you always push yourself a little bit hard in a racing situation, and you get that edge, because you don't want to drop, or you
fall in a wheel.
Exactly. Where Mads, he can probably train harder than what you would in a race. So I have no doubt he's going to be good.
Tell us one of those hard training days you did with him when it was just you and him and I think one other guy, Alex Kirsch or someone. I remember you telling us some of the intervals you're doing and the numbers, and just share some light.
It was disgusting. I mean, yes, so it was in Mallorca, always in February. We do the first race or sometimes 2 races in France, and then you head there and for the remainder of February, and then you go straight from there to Paris-Nice. So Paris-Nice is like one of the biggest 1-week races in the year, always kind of a good way to test the form leading into the classics. So this training camp was it. And Alex was always there for the first 2 weeks and then would leave, but then it was the third week in 2024. We did the same session last year, where you've done a 3-day block, and it's 6 hours, 6 hours. So now you're on your third day of a 3-day block, and it's a 7-hour day. You cruise out. You do 3 ones, which is one of my favorite things. So 3 minutes at threshold, 1 minute off, 3 minutes at threshold, 1 minute off. You repeat that a couple times. You then do either a 20-minute all-out test or a 10-minute all-out test.
On a climb? Or?
On a climb. Up, what's the famous climb? I'm actually at a loss now, and I'm going to be annoyed.
Where?
The famous climb in Mallorca that everyone... Oh, Puigmayor, sorry. I mean,
would never have got that.
Yeah, you would have got that. It was on the tip of your tongue, I saw it. So anyway, so you start out the ride. In your second or third hour now, you've really done some time at threshold. You're now doing an all-out 20-minute test. You cruise a bit for about an hour, 2 hours. You then go do a 5-minute all-out test, cruise a bit. When I say cruising, I mean we were riding at like 280 watts cruising. You then into your 6th hour, and we go to this, like, it's next to a golf course, and it's a very, very steep climb. And you do either 30-30s or 40-20s for 5 minutes up. Basically, freewheel down, full of lactate. You then go and do a 2-minute max effort up, freewheel down, repeat the 30-30s or 40-20s up, and then a 1-minute all out. So, I mean, you've already done time at threshold, you've done a 20-minute all-out test, you've done a 5-minute all-out test, you've been riding it, averaging probably close to 300 watts for 5-6 hours, and then you're doing a session like this.
Like hour 18 or something.
Oh, it was monstrous. I mean, I think my TSS for that ride was over 400.
With the FTP of what? 410?
Over 400, probably 410, 420. I was a lot lighter then. Bearing in mind, this is also day 3 of a 3-day block in week 3 of a training camp. So weather's not great. And again, when I heard about these days, I thought, this is like, no one can actually do this.
It's make-believe.
This is not real. I don't have the facilities for that, big man.
It's fugazi, it's fugazi.
But it was real. And I mean, after the fact, I was like, oh my word, I just did that. I probably messed up my whole cycling career because I haven't recovered yet. But no, Mads, he loves it. He was excited. Like he wakes up in the morning excited for that session. Where I've got anxiety. Like 3 weeks before that, I'm nervous about that.
And you're tired.
So Mads, he's phenomenal. I mean, his coach as well, Matthias Reck, was my old coach. They do special things, but the boys work hard.
No, I think non-cyclists or amateur cyclists always are skeptical of the elite level, and they always want to, say bad things about cycling. But there we go. That is an example of training, and touchy subject. If you look at that the enhanced games that happened recently, like it shows you. Like I think they only broke 1 world record, and yes, there's many factors at play. People who aren't on like the peak of their career and all of that, but you can't just dope and get better.
No.
It's so much hard work that goes in the back end, but we don't really want to get into that conversation.
But again, the people who are at the pinnacle, the people who are the Poggies of the world and the Usain Bolts of the world and the Phelpses of the world, yes, they work so hard, but they of course are naturally superior and they are gifted, talented athletes. And on top of that, they combine that with hard work, the right people around them. Everything is dialed, from your nutrition, your recovery strategy, just like there's just so much that goes into it. And it's easy to say, oh, what's the magic bullet or the silver bullet that's going to make me 10% better.
Silver bullets, eh?
Silver bullet.
That's a terrible thing.
I know what a silver bullet is, but rather that makes you 10% worse.
Yes, I think more. It reminds me of a similar story, but not quite the same. But like, once again, coming back on how people judge cyclists and judge elite athletes, and always are skeptical of the truth. As cyclists on the road, you often get sworn at and hooted at, and cars cutting you off and stuff like that. And I'll never forget a story you told me about Stefan de Bot, and
yes.
Some guy pulls him over or something in the Western Cape when he was training here, and basically was tuning. He's in the road and he needs to get out the road. And Stefan says, whoa, can I just say something? The guy's like, okay, fine. He's like, what do you do for a living? And the guy's like, no, I'm an accountant or something. He's like, well, do you think I come to you and tell you how to do your job?
Exactly.
That is one of the best stories in my
the way Stefan de Bot tells the story, and the way he would have just said it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just, for those who know him, I mean, brilliant storyteller, but such a valid point. You know, we are doing our job.
Yeah.
And, and also when people want to talk to you as well, and I hate that, because cycling, especially the way we're doing it now, we do it socially. Yes, we still race and we take it seriously, but you have your days where you're just going to do group rides, but then you also have your days where you're doing intervals. And I like to think that, like, you're working in the corporate world or you're doing something, you're in a meeting or you're busy with a project, and I'm doing my interval. Now all of a sudden you want to come and talk to me while I'm doing an interval. And then when I don't want to talk back to you, then I'm rude or I'm arrogant or I'm, not making time. Exactly similar thing. Am I going to come into your work? You're busy doing a surgery. You're a doctor. You're midway through surgery. And I'm just going to quickly come in and like, oh,
how the kids, man?
How are you doing, man? Oh, yes, you're looking good. Yeah, I can see you're looking. Your sight's good and your form's great.
Yeah. No, a new tool.
Yeah, a new scalpel there. Sure, man. I like his glasses. What prescription? No, guys. Have a bit of respect.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, we probably do take ourselves too seriously when we do our efforts.
I don't know. I think we still talk when we do efforts sometimes, depending on the effort.
Just not training hard enough, clearly.
No, not at all. Although you just came back from the gym.
I came back from the gym. I did Monday. So Monday is the standard, I think, universal rest day. You came back from a run.
I told you, I'm back on the program
12, 13K run.
It's getting more and more. The more like we talk about it. Give it a few more hours, it'll be like 15Ks.
You did a marathon today. Yeah. But I went to the gym. I did the rowing machine. That's one of my favorite. And then the leg press and the squats and the leg quad extensions and hamstring. I mean, I can go on and on.
Do you work there?
I should. Just don't interrupt me while I'm there. But then I went to the sauna. It's also, I love to start the week with a sauna. Also just detoxify, sweat out your sins of the weekend. And I get into that sauna, and I don't know, you've been to the Virgin Active Bryanston?
Oh, long ago.
That sauna, every time I go in there, it's at a different temperature. So sometimes it's like 50 degrees, and it's like, what is this? I'm wasting my time. Today it was 100. I'm not lying, it was 100. Now, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to do 20 minutes. And then I realized very quickly that that's not practical and it's unwise. So I'm there, I'm doing 15 minutes, I'm watching that clock, and as it's like, okay, 14:50, I'm like getting excited, like I'm about to stand up and get out. And just like 10 seconds to go, the sauna door opens, and Rob Cornforth, we spoke about him, one of the guys who cycles in the engine-to-engine group, he steps in. Super nice guy, like wants to chat. Like he's fresh. He hasn't been in the sauna for 15 minutes. And I'm like, trying to be polite, and he's being so nice, and he's asking like genuine questions, and he's interested. And I'm like, I get to a point after like 4 minutes, I'm like, I'm sorry, Rob, like I'm clutching.
You're just perishing.
And I think the rest of my week is going to be ruined now, because I showered for about 10 minutes, cold shower, still sweating. Even my bum was sweating in the car. I think like there's a pool of sweat in my car. So
you got your car away from out of the parking lot this time. I mean, last time Ryan was saying that his car broke down in the Virgin Active car park, so that's a bit embarrassing. Very
embarrassing also when it's like the end of the day, pretty peak time, everyone's coming from work to the gym, and I'm there in the parking lot with a flatbed truck.
Yeah, they couldn't have just bought like a small little tow truck or something.
And I've just got to apologize to everyone, and everyone's like, what's going on here? Yeah, so anyway, it was better than that. At least the car didn't break down.
Hectic. Okay, so I've got some notes. I've got my phone here, so let's not make this incorrect.
About what? About the tour?
Yeah, about the tour. I've got a whole like 14-page document here.
Look at you. One thing also I think we should just mention is that, I mean, this was obviously Nationals weekend around the world. So yeah, South Africa and Australia, we're different for whatever reason. I know the US, they also do it like about a month earlier. But yeah, I think a couple surprises. Starting with Wilco Kelderman being the Dutch champ. Obviously wasn't an easy route if you look at some of the climbers on the podium there. Belgium, I think that was an upset. I mean, you did your homework, no?
Not on that. This is Tour de France.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Women was Shari Bossart, so I mean, that's happy for her.
All I know is that the Una X team took out like half of the top 15 or something.
Half? No, they took 14 out of 15.
Oh, there we go.
So that's more than half.
Yeah. Oh, conversation.
Kim Lecourt won by, I think, 13 minutes.
13?
Yeah, 13
was
minutes.
Was in the time trial?
Yeah. I was expecting more from her. She's obviously not in great form. But
Speaking of Kim, she came fourth the other day in her first tour back, I think it was. Yeah. Which was a great result.
Really happy, yeah. Tour de Suisse, I mean, yeah, first few stages she was up there, but yeah, to finish fourth on GC, not easy, but again, bodes really, really well for the Femme Tour de France.
Yeah, and she's got like, what, just over a month?
No, it starts the last weekend, so I think it's, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, just over a month.
That's under a month.
Well, Tour de France starts on Saturday. Then they go race for like a month.
Yeah, but then the weekend that the men's tour finishes, the women's starts.
Okay, 4 weeks.
So it's just under 4 weeks.
Yes, well, at least you know your dates.
Thanks.
That's impressive.
Who's the other big nation? So French, who won the French champs? Gregoire.
Yeah, he's had a good year actually. And did you check how he won? He sprinted off the front. It shows the confidence level. So.
Very confident. Yeah, he's a good guy to watch.
Yeah.
Italy, Elisa Longoborghini, I think, won her 19th title in a row.
Same as Philippe Gahn in the TT.
The TT.
I think he won his like 8th or something.
Johnny Milan won the men's. I think that's awesome. I think like doing the Italian national champs, the Belgian national champs, like that. Those races must be harder than like a Milan-San Remo. Basically,
They always said that. I think we were making the Kenyan marathon team or something.
Was harder.
Kenyan nationals was harder than like the actual Olympic race.
Yes, yeah,
which makes sense because like they all could win the race.
Phenomenal. So yeah, really exciting there. I mean, there was the German. I mean, it was that guy that Felix Engelhardt from Jayco. Yeah, the woman who won the women's German national champs. Do you know?
As you can see, Ryan likes to do this, asking about races that I have no idea about. So
no, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, no.
Do you want to get onto something that you know about? So you did your homework.
Yeah, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna try to read.
Brilliant. Nice.
No, so I think we can go through some headline facts, about this year's tour, and then we can touch on stuff that you've touched on.
Okay.
I mean, you've done in the tour. So this year is obviously 21 stages, like it is always.
Sure, that's Kent. I'm very impressed with.
This is high level knowledge, right?
I am impressed.
3,333 kilometers.
Okay, so roughly always the same.
54,450 meters of climbing.
That's more than normal, no?
Yeah, 2,000 meters more than the last two versions.
Okay.
So yeah, I know it's not a lot, but it's still more.
It is a lot. I mean, I think the tour generally had. I think. I mean, maybe also correct me if I'm wrong. I'd say less meters of climbing than the Giro and.
I was about to say. I think Giro is probably more than this.
But that sounds a lot. I mean.
55,000 basically.
In 21, it's a 21 days.
21 days the tour this year.
I mean, I also think consider there's 2 time trials.
Yeah.
So those days you're getting maybe like 200 meters of climbing. So then it's condensed in 19 days.
And I think it's the last 4 days are super hectic.
Super hectic.
Big climbs every day. So.
And you're going to get I remember in the Vuelta, there's always climbing days. Like even a sprint stage would have 3,000 meters of climbing. But when you in the tour, you're going to have the final stage. Yes, it's that hard circuit, but it's still under 1,000 meters of climbing. You're going to have your pure sprint stages that have got 500 meters of climbing. So then, you're going to get some days that are 4,500 to 5,000 meters back to back. Poor them. I'm not unhappy to not be there.
Okay. And then obviously, this is what we've been talking about the whole year, is who's going to win the race. And you can't bet against Poggy. I don't think anyone will. Mm-mm. If you do, I think you're obviously hoping for something bad to happen, or you don't know cycling.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poggy, I think it's a race for second at this stage, which will be the exciting one. Not that it won't be exciting to watch what Poggy does, because I think it's, like we said, it could wear yellow 21 days. So yeah, I think, who would you pick for number 2?
I think Jonas definitely for number 2. I think if you look at historically, the two of them have been head and shoulders above everyone. Even last year, I think he was 5 or 6 minutes behind Poggy, and then the next was more than that. So I realistically think he's the next best. What I am interested to see is, depending on how that week one goes, and like you've said, if UAE win that first stage and Poggy goes into yellow from early, how is the race going to, are they going to get to a point where they say, listen, we don't actually want to have the pressure of holding it. Let other people take the reins.
That's early, like stage 3.
Yeah, I mean, stage 3 is
a climb.
It's a super hard
30
day.
Ks to go or something, like 7 Ks at 7% or something.
And does like a team like Trek try and keep together for Mads to try and survive and then be the best of the rest? Or do breakaways go? On stage 6 already they do Tourmalet. If you look at how Swiss went, I mean, Poggy was so dominant in Swiss that some of the best climbers in the world were going in breakaways. Like that Lenny Martinez.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's arguably going for a top 10 at the Tour de France, but he still knows that his only chance of trying to win a stage is going in a breakaway.
Yeah.
Are we going to see guys like Remco doing that in the Tour? At what point are these guys going to say, listen, we're not just going to hold on and see how long we survive and then just drop when Poggy decides to go. Let's anticipate, or let's put pressure under him. We saw that one year, was it with Roglic and Vingegaard, and there was one other guy, maybe it was a Kruiswijk or...
When Geraint Thomas was there. Geraint Thomas finished 3rd that year.
Was that the Tour?
Yeah. Isn't that what you're talking about?
I am, but at that stage where Poggy was isolated going over the top one mountain, and then Thomas G was
Thomas
there.
even attacked at one stage.
And then these Visma guys, back then was Jumbo, or whatever they're called, were like going one. I think that's the only way to take out Pog.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's all the way Stevie drop starts.
What Stevie just dropped right now, my gosh.
No. Jumbo Visma need to sign you.
No,
Steve?
that would take out
Jeez, like,
half
that
the
is
peloton.
global warming. Sorry.
Well, what did you eat? What does she eat?
No, everything.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Cheapers.
Yeah. No, but I think I'm interested to see how Jonas comes out of this whole Giro thing. And at first I thought he did it just because he knows he's not going to win the Tour. So get this, he hasn't won the Giro before. Do the Giro, win it. But they keep saying, and obviously it's like you can't read into it too much, but they keep saying he's on the best form of his life now after the Giro. They planned this based on how he is after Grand Tours in the past. Maybe he's a couple % more than he normally would be, and maybe he can shake things up.
Again, I think it would be great for the viewers. I mean, of course, die-hard Poggy fan, want him to win, want him to set records, but he is so dominant and he is making it almost a little bit boring. I mean, it's like when you support a football team that are super dominant in the season, it's still nice to watch them win, but when they've been winning for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seasons, you're like, okay, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I'd be happy, for Vingegaard to stick it to him and to see weakness. But unfortunately, I don't think we've seen Poggy show weakness in 2 years. Since that famous day where he was dead, I'm done, I'm gone.
Yeah.
What was that? 3 That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We have not seen him, blow.
No.
Well, I mean, he did have a gel with 8 Ks to go in Flanders, which you thought was weakness.
I still think that's a bit of weakness. And I think that's the only way you could get to him. But I think he's learnt from those times. Like, the reason he bombed out in the past was, in my opinion, now this is controversial, but the team wasn't as good as it is now. The team directors and that weren't as good as they were now. So they weren't actually helping him or assisting him. They were just letting this wonder kid do what he wanted. And it was working up until a point where Jumbo, Visma were getting everything so precise, and that cracked him. Now he knows how to race, so he's not going to do the same mistake. But
plus he's got a team, a stronger team. Plus he's got
he's got the experience. He's even stronger. So like, even if he does make a mistake or probably just fall, straight back with the rest of them. But I think that's the only way he could bomb out is nutrition mishap, miss a bottle. I know they have oaks feeding the whole way, but some shit happens. Yeah, I don't know.
It has just changed. I mean, even since I started doing Grand Tours, it would be like there'd be one static feed zone and then you get bottles from the car. Where now there'd be like 24 feeding points on a route now. You used to go with like 6 Swannies. You're now going with 15 Swannies and extra, like the PR guys, the people who are doing the Instagram and stuff are handing out bottles, and the mechanics, there's extra mechanics handing out bottles and things like that.
What is your take on that? Like, cycling, they're trying to cap it as much as they can. And I saw a thing the other day from the UCI president saying he still thinks in an ideal world, more teams, less riders would make for more exciting racing, which I agree with. So you have 25 teams of 5 or 6 riders. You don't have as many guys to control the flat stages. It makes it a bit more volatile, and the racing will be more exciting, I think. You still have the same peloton size, so safety shouldn't be changed in that situation. But then
I disagree.
Disagree.
I disagree.
With what, the safety part or the whole thing?
Having numbers. I mean, if you have 20 teams, okay, so what's it? 22 teams who do it now. So call it 30 teams. So it's 22 teams of now 8. Call it 30 teams of 6. You know, so roughly the same number. You're going to have 30 teams who want to go into that corner first, rather than having 22 teams going into that corner first.
Okay.
Like when you're riding across, I think the sprint stages would be hectic, where you know right now in the Tour there's 12 teams realistically that are going for sprints. So you're going to have to worry about 12 lines. You're going to 30.
But you also have less firepower. So the chances of staying in the front and getting it right and getting it dialed, it will be less.
It will be less, but then because you don't have the same firepower, you know that you're going to have to risk it more. So you're going to have to like do these dive bombs or these last minute kind of...
But people do that anyway.
I know. I just, maybe you're right. It would definitely make it more exciting.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think it would make it more dangerous because every single team has got an agenda, and whether you're the strongest team there or the weakest team there, every single director is under so much pressure from top level management, from the sponsors, to just do something, show face. You know, realistically, yes, there's certain teams that aren't going to win a stage of the Tour de France. Well, on paper, might not. Not even close to getting a top 10 on GC, but they need to do something. So on the sprint stages or the flatter stages or those pinch point moments where it's not really about raw power, it's about, you know, just wanting it more than the guy next to you. That kind of mentality is what causes these crashes.
Yeah.
And I think the more Pellegrinis you have there, the more crashes they're going to be. I would say just have two teams of 30.
Interesting.
Or 6 teams of 30. That would make it more fun.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. It would be very boring, but that's pretty much what the sport's become.
Yeah. I just think, obviously, I see what you're saying, but the lack of control with a smaller team would definitely just make the viewing great. But yes, I see what you're saying from the dive bombing and 12 lanes versus 6 lanes, and I 100% get that.
Do you think it's got a little bit boring? I mean, think about, for those of us who have been Tour de France fans, you know, from the Lance days, going into the Sky dominant era where Sky would go on the front. I mean, US Postal and Discovery started this, but then Sky really kind of took it to the next level. They hit the front with 6 guys, and slowly one by one, they whittle it down. And by the time there's only 2 or 3 Sky riders left, there was like a group of 5 guys. And it's kind of like, there was never attacks. There was never cat and mouse. It was just, the group is 15, then it's 10, then it's 6, and then it's only Froome left
one
with,
last attack.
you know, Valverde and Contador. And like, I feel like now, because the level's so high, it's the same, and people are so nervous. Like,
yeah, like people are scared to try because, you know, the chances are they're going to just fail.
And the pace is probably so high already that they can't attack because they're already riding at 7 watts a kilo. Like, where are they supposed to go?
That's also something I always thought, you know, like, yes, Sky or whatever, get there and they have 7 riders and they're all doing an amazing job, but everyone who's there is still doing the exact same work. You know, you're going to get no benefit on the climb. It's relentless.
It's so true, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this year will be good. I think Remco is one I'm also interested to see how he'll do. He looks like, he said that he's lost some weight, so we can maybe try maybe he's closer to 63 now.
We'll get him to do a weigh-in for us, you know, and just send a video of him climbing on the scale for us.
Yeah, that'll be good. But no, he says he's lost weight, and obviously he can't believe all these things, but he's lost weight, power stayed the same. So theoretically, watts per kilo go up, he gets faster. New team, you know, I think that can work in 2 ways because, yes, he's the leader, but Lipovitz is also there, who was third last year. Yeah. Riding really well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But then again, I think Red Bull have that same kind of methodology that Visma had or still have, but like they're going to do it properly. Whereas I think previously Remco was just kind of, once again, wonder kid, go in here, do what you do. Didn't really have a proper team looking after him.
Yeah.
Red Bull have stepped it up and probably changed things with his training, nutrition, recovery, mix it up, and who knows, maybe he's also gained a couple %.
I agree 100%, and I think it's different mentality, different environment. Red Bull have been very Austrian and German. They're very, you know, they cross every T and they dot every I. No stone left unturned. Strong team. Lipovitz, Maxime van Gils, you know, just to name, like those are 2 guys who can both be top 10 competitors. You know, well, we've seen that with Lipovitz 3rd last year. Unfortunately, you know, Quickstep, also one of the best teams in the world, but was never a GC team really. They were dominant and powerhouses in the sprints and the classics. They couldn't really offer him the support. They didn't have the riders where Red Bull do. So yeah, I think he's definitely going to be someone to watch. I think the other real team, I mean, obviously Seixas, and we've spoken about Vingegaard and Visma. Seixas is someone else again. I think, has he done a Grand Tour before?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Shown the talent, he's got the ability. A Grand Tour is different.
Yeah, I've never done one, so yes, I'll take your word for it. But I also just think he's once again, he's above the rest of the guys. You know, he's above the guys are like top 10. He's fighting for that podium.
Yeah.
And he's shown that he's got pedigree. You know, he's not a Pellegrini, and he's shown time and time again that he deserves to be respected by these big guys.
Yeah, he's consistent.
He's consistent, and I think also Decathlon have pumped a whole bunch of cash into their team. Their team's gotten a lot stronger. They're backing their directors and stuff are, you know, guys with knowledge. I think that helps a lot. And then I think he's French. It's Tour de France. It's panache. He's got a lot riding on him.
No, you're right. And I'd be happy for him to do well. You know, he seems quite soft-spoken. He doesn't seem too arrogant. And it would be amazing for French cycling. It would be amazing for the Tour de France if a Frenchman is, you know, fighting for stage wins and a podium at the end.
Yeah. I think it'll be a great race for second. Hopefully for first. But yeah, put you on the spot. Top three in order.
Top three in order. I'm going to say Poggy, Vingegaard, and I'm going to go out there and say Ayuso third.
That's a big call, eh?
Yeah.
That's a big call.
He's very temperamental. He's never had a good Tour de France, but he's showing something. And even the last few days in in Dauphiné. I mean, he was third on GC at Dauphiné. Yeah, maybe again I'm wrong. I mean, a lot of people
got the last one wrong.
Did I?
Yeah. What was the last one? Giro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it wrong.
What did I say? I said
I don't know, but I was right.
Okay, so well then, Kent, tell us who's going to be top three.
Lenny Martinez. No, Poggy. I agree. It's going to be tricky with Jonas, so I'm going to go Jonas. And then third, I'm going to say, I'd love Remco to be third on the podium. I don't know if he's got the mental capacity, and I hope he proves us wrong, or me wrong, but I'm going to say Seixas third.
I think on paper, like statistically, that would be like the most common bet for the top three.
Yeah, bro, I'm a simple guy.
Remco was the podium in 2024 was Poggy, Vingegaard, Remco when he won the white jersey.
But he was days behind. Eh?
Yeah, it was
different time zone.
Different world. That was when the TT finished with the Tour finished with a TT in Nice, and Poggy did the last K as a procession, waving to the crowd, and then still won the TT by a minute. Just never seen stuff like that before in my life.
The individual time trial, I think it's in week 2. Who's going to win that? Who's going to win that between the contenders?
Remco, you can't bet against Remco. But then having said that, just if you watch Poggy's TT at Swiss, not the same kind of competitors, not the same lineup, but again, you never know. But I would say statistically, Remco would be the best of the GC contenders.
And then you think Jonas and Seixas could get a stage win?
If Poggy wants them to.
Okay.
Yes. I have no doubt that Seixas will get a stage win. He has to. You know, decathlon, French, wonder kid, he will get a stage win. Vingegaard will also probably get one when Poggy decides he's allowed to get one.
It depends how generous he is.
I know that Poggy doesn't have a massive suitcase, so he can't fit in all the yellow jerseys and the Lions and all the other jerseys he's going to be getting. So he'll probably be like, you know what, I don't have capacity. I don't have the space for that. So I think he'll be quite friendly.
Okay, yeah.
Generous.
Friendly guy.
Generous guy, yeah. Likes to give a hand here and there.
No, it'll be good to watch. Other jerseys, green jersey. There's not many sprint stages. There's not a lot of opportunities. Maybe a guy. Well, green jersey is normally not a pure flat sprinter. But who would you say there? What are the contenders like? Mads,
Tim Milieu, Olaf Koy. unfortunately, as you've mentioned, I mean, I know the way the green jersey works is on the sprint stages, they offer now more points for the stage win on a flatter stage because they say, listen, the green jersey should theoretically be for a faster guy.
Yeah.
But because of how hard this year's tour is, I wouldn't be surprised if it is one of the GC guys, arguably Poggy. Otherwise, yes, like you mentioned, someone who's more Marillier, Van der Poel, a Mads. I mean, I don't think, Mads, of course, I also am biased towards him, and I really want him to do well, and I want him to win a lot of stages. I don't think he will, but I still think he'll be up there in the green jersey. I see the pure sprint stages. I think there's only 3 or 4. Got to be Marillier. I mean, would you bet against him?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think normally sprints in the Grand Tours is Philipsen. He's normally proven to be the best sprinter, but I don't think he's had the best year.
He's been quite quiet.
But he was also quiet going into last year's tour. But I don't know. I think it'll be, those 1 or 2 days that they are will be exciting. But then again, because it's so few and far to come by, like, it could be a mixed bag. And, like, I would love to see a Binyam do well there. He's had a good year, new team. So it'll be great to see him, up there fighting for the green jersey as well.
Again, yeah.
African cycling put us on the map.
Exactly. And if you think of he was amazing. He burst to the scene in 2021. 2022 was when he had a breakout year, winning Gent-Wevelgem. Then he was quiet for a year. Then 2024 wins the green jersey, 3 stages. And then last year, you didn't even see him. So yeah, it's every 2 years. Yeah. So hopefully this means that now he's going to be back on it.
And speaking of that, African cycling, he's the only African doing the tour.
Yeah.
Which is a bit sad.
It is sad. It is sad, but I think it is just a reality, and it shows the states of affairs of what's happening, is that we aren't nurturing the talent, we aren't getting the right exposure. There's so many reasons for that. You can blame this, you can blame that, but it is very sad, and it's something that we actually spoke about a long time ago, not even on the first podcast, but between you and myself years and years ago. I would not be surprised if we don't see another South African do the Tour de France for a good 5-10 years.
That is like a tough pill to swallow, because you've done it 3-4 times. 3 times. 2 times.
3. 2 times.
How many times have you done the Tour de France?
I've done 4 Giros. I've done 2 Tour de France's and a virtual Tour de France.
Okay. And Ryan Gibbons was the first ever yellow jersey on the virtual Tour de France. Yeah, that is actually a cool stat.
No, it's not. It's an embarrassing stat.
I think it's a cool stat.
Yeah, thank you. It didn't. When I went for contract negotiations, it didn't help my case. But thank you.
You should have done your negotiations virtually.
It's actually on my Wikipedia page. I don't know who put it there. Because I think back in the day you could edit it. Like any random person could edit it. I don't know. I was convinced it was you who put it on there.
No, it wasn't me. But those tours that you did, how many South Africans were there? Daryl's?
My first one was Daryl and Louis. And my last one was me and Louis.
Yeah, now Louis retired, Daryl's retired, Rainey's retired from that level. Did Stefan ever do the tour?
Stefan did the tour 2021.
Okay.
With Astana. But yeah, I mean, Alan, again, this was his first year doing a grand tour at the Giro. And again, phenomenal. He's a phenomenal bike rider. And obviously he's still got lots to learn. I don't want to say invisible, but obviously his goals and focuses was later on in the season. Now it's mountain biking season, and I'm excited to see how he's going to, pick it up from now. But, maybe he'll do it. But again, I don't really see him as the kind of rider who, a team would take to the tour. He's, again, no doubt got the ability, but, he's got to put himself out there. He's one of the, I'd say, in the top 40 climbers in the world, top 50, but he's not going to win a stage unless he goes and breaks and things like that. And that just takes time and years and experience. So, yeah, I'm talking in circles now. I don't see him doing the Tour de France.
And unfortunately, I mean, there seems to be a gap. So there's no one at the elite level, not really anyone that I can point out in the under 23 level that is going to be at that high point of the racing. But our juniors look like there's a good group of juniors coming through. But the way things are changing in cycling, they're going to have to make that that jump now next year, because otherwise you become invisible. You just fall into the greater cycling world. So,
and that's so sad because I mean, back in the day, I mean, when we were riding, we both did like the under 23 Giro and things like that, and there was these things out there. But now, you know, the guys are becoming so good, so young that, as you say, you got to go from junior level, and within 2 years, you've got to be competing at the highest level.
Yeah.
Where, you know, to expect a 20-year-old to having to race World Tour races and get results, I mean, it's really tough.
Yeah.
So it is hard, and I feel for the guys coming from that. But we do have the talent, and I think there's even 1 or 2 first under 23s. You know, still 18, 19 years old, but yeah, really, I don't know what to do or how.
Yeah, it's a big gap. Unfortunately, there's no pro team that's located in South Africa anymore. Was Doug the whole time. Now still involved with Q30. What, 36.5?
Yeah, Q36.5.
36. And speaking of that, I mentioned to you earlier, the contract rumour offer that they offered Paul Seixas, 13 million euros.
I mean, again, it sounds so bizarre and ridiculous, but they're also paying Pidcock a stupid amount of money. I mean, look who backs that team, Pinarello, I mean, it's Ivan.
There's still a South African vibe to it.
Of course there is.
But unfortunately, no riders.
But they've got the money, surely. And I mean, that contract offer, if that is real, it's...
Can't turn that down.
No ways can you turn that down. 13 million euros.
It's not kake.
That's...
Buy a few Big Macs with those.
You could have at least 7. That's, yeah.
But coming back to African cycling, I saw Eritrean national champs, a young rider from Ineos. Ineos have a development team, which I didn't actually know about, and he won the overall thing.
Yeah.
So that's good. Ineos are investing in African cycling.
Yeah.
Trek still have Freddie Fastlegs, who's been there for how many years now?
Oh, Freddie's been there since, I think, Tadej pulled out, so I think since 2020.
That's impressive. So I think he's underrated African cyclist.
100%.
Does his job, sits on the front for hours at a time.
So versatile as well. Can go in breakaways, can pace on the climbs, pace on the flats. He's also quick in his own right. Yeah, super underrated rider. Movistar also have got Tesfation.
Yes.
I think you raced alongside him.
Yeah, I raced him a few times, specifically in Rwanda, and he was head and shoulders above the rest of us. And he actually won a race the other day.
Yes.
I think it was 2.1. Or it might have even been...
No, you saw that. Yeah. I think that was in Miami. I think that might have been the race that Mads and them did.
Yeah. And that's big result for him.
Wallonie also. I mean, he's always been good in Wallonie.
He was also good at Tour Down Under.
Yes.
Top 10, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was like 3rd on stage, maybe.
Yeah.
So there are some good African riders coming through. Hopefully we get some more. Binyam's brother as well, I think he's riding for... I saw it the other day. Also, he looks exactly like Binyam.
But also riding for a Devo team of a pro team. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But again, it's Eritrean dominant.
Yeah.
And they are an amazing cycling powerhouse country. But it's great to see, and you want more of that. But it's also like, how are we going to get to Southern Africa? When are we going to get more guys bursting on the scene?
And it's weird because over the years we've done African champs, for example, and we've gone to race a couple of times, and not just us, but other South African teams have raced against these Eritrean teams, and I wouldn't say that they're that dominant over us. I would say we hold our own and we beat them at times, but then in the bigger picture, they're here and we are here. But then also, if you look at their cycling infrastructure, and that they don't have the opportunities that we have, but their good guys are here. So genetically, they must just be like gods, like they can do much more than us. I don't know. It's actually quite interesting.
If you think of it, I mean, Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, it's at altitude, and I mean, we think we're at altitude here in Joburg. They're at over 2,000 meters, and they've got so many races there that are. We've got our 100k Grand Fondo races once a month, call it. They've got 150, 200k races week in, week out at 2,000 meters above sea level plus. My feeling is that, us in South Africa, we always depend on just raw brute strength and power. If you want to move up the peloton, you pedal 100 watts more than everyone else and you're there. Where all the Eritrean riders that I've ever raced with, they know how to ride in a bunch. They have so much finesse, they have class, they're classy bike riders, and I think that also, they know how to save energy in a peloton. They know how to race a race, and that's a big difference as well. You know, it's not just the genetic ability, which I do think they are superior, but they're also smart bike riders. They know how to hold their own, they know how to sit in the wheel, they know how to leverage, you know, the people around them. So yeah, I think we could learn a lot from that kind of racing style.
Definitely. Okay, let's focus back on Tour de France.
Sorry.
No, I think that was a good little diversion we did there. We took a nice way. So who's going to win the green jersey? Final answer.
Final answer, I'm going to say Poggy.
Sure. You heard it here first, folks. That'll be quite interesting. Does he get the same points on the... It doesn't get the same points on the uphill finish. Only if it's a flat or down or like normal finish.
It's different. So I mean, call it like, let's say if it's 50 points for winning a sprint stage, it's probably 20 points for winning a mountain stage. But the thing is, I mean, if he wins like he always does, 5 or 6 stages, plus these long-range attacks where there's sprint points along the way, the organisers have cut back on that because they know how the race is going to unfold. So they'll generally have like one sprint point that's for green jersey points early on a mountain day, knowing that it will still be contested theoretically by the sprinters. But I still just think there's so many opportunities for him to get points. You also, if you have a sprinter like who's super dominant, like Surf Milieu does win 3 sprint stages, then maybe not, or a Philipsen or whatever. But you know, if you're going to get Biniam winning 1, Philipsen winning 1, Koy winning 1, Milieu 1, there's a few crashes. The guys aren't getting consistent points on the sprint days. Poggy every mountain day is getting 20 points, 20 points, 20 points. Can't bet against him, surely.
Sure. You've obviously done your research. Yeah, I was not going to say. I'm going to go.
I might be wrong. I might be way off.
I think based on what you said there, it makes sense. I'm going to say Mads.
Okay.
I just think he's going to come back after this.
That would make me happy.
And he's going to be like supersonic. So
yeah.
I'm going to say him. A strange jersey. I know a lot of people find it a bit controversial, the polka dot jersey. Some people say it's a climber's jersey, but the pure climbers or the best climbers rarely actually win it properly. Maybe they do more recently in the last few years, but Poggy going to win that as well.
He's won it, 3 times already? I think maybe this is where he's going to be generous and he's going to maybe like not give it to Jonas, but...
Because Jonas will always be there or thereabouts.
Thereabouts. Again, it all depends on how they want to race these races. Because if to be dead honest with you, if Poggy and Vingegaard say, listen, we're up for every single mountain day, we're going to just go for it, it's going to be them. But if they are going to be like, you know, let long-range breakaways go, and on the medium mountain stages, a breakaway with Derek G and Scully and things like that, you know, you never know. But
sure,
I'm gonna say Gregoire, not Poggy, Gregoire.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
Per se.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Poggy. Without choosing Poggy, I'm going to say Martinez.
Okay. Good call. Yeah, good call.
He'll race for something like that. I think more than trying to get 3rd or 4th or 5th on them. And yeah, I think I like the way he races. He's aggressive, takes it on. So I'm going to say Martinez.
He's always there on the forefront. He's got quite a hectic twitch. Have you seen it when he rides?
He's explosive, eh?
No, when I say twitch, no, it's like he's got like Tourette's almost.
Hectic.
No, shame. You must watch it. Like it's actually quite hectic. I mean, I remember riding with him once. I mean, it was I don't think it was a Tour 24, but maybe it was Dauphiné before that. And I was riding, and I actually thought like he was having a problem. Obviously, it's just a twitch that he's got, and maybe it's anxiety or who knows what it may be. But it's just like watch out for it.
Okay, I'll have a look.
I think his swannies are busy the whole night, you know, massaging his neck and dry needling those spasms he's got there. But yeah, just take note of it now. Now that I've told you, you're never going to be able to unsee it.
So it's kind of like a Bilbao who rides like this, that. Like left, right.
Maybe it's just a Bahrain thing. If you ride for Bahrain Victorious, you've got to have some kind of something up.
What bikes they ride? Amarita.
No,
the headsets are tight.
No, it's different now. I think it's Bianchi. Okay. I might be wrong because it always was Bahrain Merida, but I mean it's June already and we don't know what bikes it is. But I feel just so disconnected from simple things like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
maybe there's something wrong with the headset.
But Bilbao's always ridden like that. Like every team
maybe just likes a tight headset.
Maybe. Nothing wrong with a tight headset.
Oh gosh! So while you research that, I'm guessing that's what you're doing.
I'm just checking my Facebook status.
We were chatting about like some not random, but like things that have happened in the Tour de France over the years. And obviously, you know, we've had lots of years for things to happen. And I asked, you know, the internet for a few interesting pieces.
Okay.
And the one is, the caption here is the 1904 tour that nearly killed the tour. So the second ever tour descended into total anarchy. Riders cut the course by taking trains and getting towed behind cars. Fans of local favourites threw nails and tacks on the road and physically beat up rival riders in the dark.
Jeepers.
One ambush got so bad, the organiser, Henry de Grange, don't know how to pronounce that.
You don't know how to pronounce him?
His officials reportedly fired pistols in the air to disperse a mob. De Grange was so disgusted, he declared the tour dead. So there was no official winner or anything on that race. But then 4 months later, the governing body disqualified... no, sorry, I said this in the wrong way. So they got a winner.
Okay.
And then 4 months later, they disqualified the top 4 riders. And the race was handed to Henry Cornet, who at not yet 20 remains the youngest ever Tour de France winner.
Sure, I did not know that.
So that's quite interesting. So winning based on guys getting beaten up.
4 guys getting
shots fired and... Yeah.
But guys were like cheating, so they were like, what, just like climbing, like calling an Uber and saying, listen, this is a long stage. I'd rather avoid that mountain, that one. Maybe if I can just cut here.
Exactly.
And it's unreal. That sounds so French, though. It must have been pretty dominant by French and Italian riders at that point.
Yeah.
Which other nations realistically would have been doing it by then? Second year of the Tour de France, 120 odd years ago, maybe 2 Dutchies. Dominant. It's definitely a French peloton.
Yeah. That reminds me, I remember doing a few races as like a junior or first year under 23 locally. And back when we still had proper tours in South Africa and we were riding in Kraskorp and you did like 200k stages with proper climbing. And people would do some dodgy stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd be dropping and big day. And like guys come past me hanging on a truck up the mountain. Hey, jump on, come here, we save ourselves. And then the next day they're going in the breakaways.
Yeah.
And cycling has got its people.
I think people are just inherently bad, like people just want to cut corners and want to cheat and want to get an advantage over someone else because people are just horrible.
Yeah, it's not great, but I haven't seen that recently. So,
did you do African Champs in Egypt? I know we did it that year together in 21, but I think it was a few years before that where the junior men, there was a team time trial and the marshals sent every single team the wrong way except for the Egyptian national team.
Gotta love it.
What is that? Like, your job is there to marshal a race, be objective. Yes, you are Egyptian, you're in Egypt, and you send every team, barring the Egyptian national team, the wrong way. I think they just nullified the whole event. Okay. But I mean, and that happens in Africa, and it gets like blown under the rug. It just is what it is. Anyway, so hopefully no one's taking trains or smoke breaks or things like that.
Yeah, we're just going to listen to Ant McCrossan. This rider has taken a train.
Who is he the sole commentator that you get in South Africa?
Unfortunately.
What do you mean? I think he's great.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Ant.
Yeah. I prefer the, I think it's Australian guys, Matthew Keenan and...
Robin McEwen.
Yeah, I feel like they got a bit more insight and they're not like talking about the Chateau de Gouteau and the moat around the thing, like...
Chateau Gasso's got good cake, though.
See, that's what he'd be talking about, like...
But surely you've got to. I mean, like, I'm a diehard South African as well. Diehard cycling fan, yet watching a Grand Tour, it's amazing, like, the last hour. But it is so boring. And, what do you talk about? Especially if it's like a sprint stage where 2 Pellegrinis go up the road, and it's a 200k stage, and it's the same guys in the front. You've got to start talking about something and creating narratives and adding something.
No, sure.
And a lot of people who don't actually watch cycling or understand cycling, they watch the Tour de France because of these...
Sure, it's your gran, because my gran watches it. I think it's a granny thing.
Probably is a granny thing.
Yeah, they like seeing the chateau.
They want to see the Chateau Gâteau and find out about that wine region and things like that.
It can put you to sleep. Like if you're like a bit hungover or something on a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday RV.
Sun's going down and you're lying on the couch and you got Anne McCrossan in the background with a helicopter and a bit of white noise. Mate, that is elite.
I'm actually looking forward to good Sunday afternoon naps.
Yeah. No, that is power. But no, he's not my favorite commentator. But yeah. We're allowed to have opinions, eh?
Oh, yeah.
They're like asses.
Some are wrong, but...
Everyone's got one.
Everyone's got one.
Do you have any important facts? Because I've got some written down here, but if you've got any you want to throw in.
Important facts about the Tour.
Well, not important, sorry. Interesting or unusual.
I don't know. I think what a lot of people don't realize is like the Tour, the Tour always starts, it's either a Friday or a Saturday, usually a Saturday. And people kind of think, there's a team presentation 2 days before and then you kind of rock up there. But there's so much that goes into a Grand Tour. You've always got to be there 4 days before. There's always a standardized blood test that happens from the UCI. There's
Every single rider.
Every single rider. There's always like the presentation where they do the team presentation, you go on the stage and everyone, they take their photos, but you've also got to do so much media around that. Like I'm sure you've seen where they bring up a rider's name and he turns and he crosses his arm or
he's like
he wins the stage and you've got to do all that kind of admin. There's always, especially with the Tour, there's like a whole chat where they speak about the history of the Tour, the breakdown of the route, why it's significant, the safe.
And all riders go to this.
All riders go to that and you sit there and you've got an earpiece on because it's in either French or English or Spanish or whatever. And it's a massive procession. Like there's so much that goes into it that people don't realize. And they'll always talk about new rules that are coming in the next year, something that they're changing, how strict they'll show like Phillips in sprinting and they'll be like, don't do this,
Take the exit on the left.
So that's something that people don't realize.
How early do you get to the Tour? Before it starts? How many days?
Tuesday or Wednesday, normally.
So are you leaving from, say, Girona, take a day and a bit, maybe, like, depending where you're going?
Well, normally it's like an hour's flight, yeah. Pretty much anywhere in Europe.
Not a day, but like you know what I mean? Like your travel is always, so you're going to get there a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. So you leaving today?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're gone for a month.
Okay.
Your Grand Tour is 21 days, as you pointed out.
21 days.
21 with 2 rest days. So that's already 23 days from start to finish. You're never going to leave directly after the race. You're going to leave the next day. And then you're there 4 days at least before. So you're there for a month, which is less than, what? Or you said more than
6 weeks. Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. That's just some random fact.
That is quite random.
Yeah. Think of a better one for next time.
I think that one everyone knows about.
What?
The Chris Froome when he ran up Ventoux.
Yeah.
Obviously everyone knows about that, but
what knows about Chris Froome running up Ventoux?
Yeah.
Pretty sure everyone knows about that.
Yeah. Well, if you're not a cyclist and you're just tuning into our podcast, and you want to learn an interesting fact. In what year was that? Let's see if I wrote it down.
17.
16.
16? Yeah. I was wrong. I was wrong. Guess I'm always wrong.
Chris Froome, Kenyan-born, South African-raised British rider, won the Tour 5 times?
4 times.
4 times.
Mm. It's one less than 5.
All right. One more than 3. He was in the yellow jersey going up Mont Ventoux, chaos around him, so many fans, motorbikes can't get through. And I don't actually know the exact issue with his bike, but bike broke, stuck on the side of the road, cars minutes and minutes behind the peloton at this stage, because obviously there's just riders dropping, so the cars...
And there's just people and bikes and
even neutral service was too far behind, so he decides now he's going to go run. And I don't know if you've tried walking in cycling shoes, but when we go for a ride and stop for a coffee or whatever it might be, and you got to walk to the toilet, I'd rather just hold it in.
No, it's horrible.
You feel like an idiot. You got no grip.
You look like a duck.
Yeah. And there he was running up a mountain.
10%.
Which was quite funny, actually.
He should have been DQ'd. I mean, that's against the rules. Like probably the next year at the Tour de France, at that pre-meeting, they're saying don't do this because that's an instant disqualification.
On the stage.
But anyways, he won it. It was quite iconic.
Made for good TV, I think.
It's definitely. Oh, I remember that. That was 2016, as I remembered clearly.
At that stage, Ant McCrossen was probably talking about some moat or something around the region. So he missed all of that. But so hopefully he listens, he can hear what it was about.
We were probably having a nap. We probably went out on the Saturday night and we didn't actually get to see it in live. We had to just watch it on replay.
Okay, last one. This one was quite interesting, I thought, and we know about it as well, but it's more factual. Greg LeMond's 8-second win. What year was that when he wasn't leading, but he turned over on the last day, individual time trial? What year was that?
So was it Laurent Fignon? No? Fignon. The French long-haired, what was it, professor or doctor, whatever they called him. I think that would be 87, 88, 80, final, I'm going to say 88.
That's close, 89.
Oh, okay.
No, that's pretty impressive. I would never have got that.
Thank you.
But no, essentially, I'll read this so I don't get any facts wrong, but I could still get it wrong because my reading is not great.
Read it properly.
Okay, slowly. Listen properly. Going into the final days, time trial into Paris, the American Greg LeMond trailed France's Laurent Fignon by 50 seconds. A margin that everyone assumed was unbridgeable. LeMond used a radical new aerodynamic tri-bars and an aero helmet. So I'm guessing this was the first time that anyone used this, while Fignon rode traditional drop bars with his ponytail flapping in the wind. And LeMond overturned the whole deficit and won the whole 3 weeks by just 8 seconds.
Unreal.
Still the closest margin in history.
Unreal. 89.
89.
And sorry, did you say that this was on the Champs-Élysées? I remember they used to do
finish
TT.
there. Yeah, I think it could have been.
Yeah, I think it was a TT around the Champs-Élysées. So I mean, that iconic, famous circuit that they've done in the last couple of years. Well, you know what I'm saying? That used to be a TT.
Yeah.
I think it's better to finish with a... What do you think? Do you think it's better to finish with a procession and a sprint stage, where you see everyone drinking champagne and then it's like a little bit boring but then exciting for the end, and you know that the guy who's won the race can relax? Or do you want it to be won on the last day? That this guy...
Sure.
Like the Tour de France in 2024, finished with a TT. Yes, Poggy was already 5 minutes ahead, but it could have been...
Even the year he won the first time when he beat Roglic.
we did still do the Champs-Élysées the next day.
But I mean, that was... Okay.
The TT was on stage 20 though, yeah.
No, I think as a rider, well, I'm never at that level, but as a rider, I would prefer the easy day.
Yeah, 100%.
Champagne, chill, and if you want to race, you race. You know, like otherwise just cruise. You've done so much hard work up to that point. It's like a reward.
Exactly.
It's still not easy. I mean, you showed me like power numbers from that day. Like, it's not an easy day by any means. Yes, maybe only the last hour and a bit.
Yes.
I would much rather do that. I think from now as a spectator watching it, obviously it's exciting now with this new section. What's it, Montre or whatever?
Yeah.
That's exciting to watch, but I don't think it's a true representative. I know Wout won last year, but I don't think it was Poggy giving it his absolute all there. It was wet, it was dodgy.
They already neutralized it.
Yeah, but say he crashes there and he can't even get on the podium or something. He's got a broken leg.
Exactly.
He wasn't giving it his all there.
That's quite controversial.
I don't think so. I mean, how can you be that dominant and then...
No, like someone like Van Aert beats you.
Yeah. No, I mean...
someone like Van Aert, you know.
A Pellegrini. But no,
I agree with you. I think it should be a sprint stage. It should be nice. I mean, I remember finishing the tour with a TT. I've already finished. I'm showered. Ciccone hasn't even started his warm-up yet. Also, the start and finish is in two different places. So, like, you know, you're not finishing a grand tour together. You don't have that team camaraderie or that spirit. You know, it's like you're not. And even when you are, you know, racing around Rome or racing around the Champs-Élysées, you know, yes, the team who wins always kind of go over hand in hand, but you still have that feeling of, you know, you're taking that photo across the finish line, arm in arm. That's what it's about.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then the speech afterwards, like Geraint Thomas dropping the mic, the controversial speech that Lance Armstrong, you know.
Yes.
There'll be cynics, there'll be haters. But, you know, if you can't believe in anything, believe in cycling.
Wow, man, you're not off by heart. Is that what inspired you to become a cyclist?
It is, honestly. You got to have some history. Keep it there. That was actually quite solid, and we are now over an hour.
Okay,
so,
time to stop.
Yeah.
Well, by the time we do the next one, we'll be midst tour.
Yeah, maybe we do like a more frequent, like shorter recap.
Like last 3-4 days. Short recap and don't like waffle on for hours.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, sick. Well done. Well, let us know what you think in the comments, please.
Yeah, all 8 of you.
Yeah. Now we're getting some traction.
Sick. Cool, man.
Yeah, lekker.
Yeah, thanks, Stevie, for...
Yeah. Cheers, Steve.